Well, a warning with the 2018 tax season is now underway. Scammers may have their sights set on your tax refund, and this year thieves have more ammo than ever before. Local financial professional Brad Zucker from Safe Money Advisors is here joining me today with those steps on how you can protect this refund and all your money that's supposed to be coming in.
That's correct, because if you recall last year, Equifax had a major data breach where 140 million people were affected by theft of personal information like social security numbers. Well, scammers use those social security numbers to file fraudulent tax returns, stealing people's money. Unfortunately, the steps that most people took after the hack, like credit freezes and credit card monitoring, don't protect against tax ID theft. So we've got about 3 or 4 good tips you can use right now to help reduce or eliminate that fear.
That's really good. Speaking of Equifax, we actually had a story about it earlier that it may have been worse than we have thought. Driver's license taken,
That's
stuff
correct,
like
right.
that. And when you take all that into account, you think this year is probably worse than ever, or these scammers and thieves are working overtime.
Right. Well, the government's already let us know and set out a warning that personal information like social security numbers might have been compromised. So when you start filing your taxes this year, if you receive a tax form from an employer you didn't work for, like a W-2 or a 1099, that's a red flag right there. Do not put that on your tax return. In fact, if that tax form came directly from the IRS, you've got the right to dispute it, and you can contact them directly. You can even confirm your wages rate with the Social Security Administration as well. So looking for red flags is a major tip that you can use right now.
Yeah, and there's also other tips you can do to really protect yourself from ID theft, right?
Yes, file early. Filing early could be the best defense against tax ID theft. If that government has our legitimate tax return on file, it makes the scammers' chances of getting information a lot less likely. So don't complete an incomplete return right now, but you should be noticing in your mailbox right now the W-2 forms, Social Security statements, as well as 1099 dividend forms. Gather all that information and file that return as soon as possible.
That's true. What happens if you have become a victim? What can you do? That's
a great question. First, you want to contact the IRS directly. Document everything and don't rest until the issue is resolved. You may want to even file a report with your local police department and even the 3 credit bureaus, as well as filing an ID theft claim with the Federal Trade Commission or FTC.
That's really good. And we just brought a full screen up of how to prevent tax ID theft, if we can bring it up again. Of course, we talked about the first 3, and then adjust your withholding. Can you expand on that one? Sure.
If you're a victim of tax ID theft, it could be months before you get back that return. And the average return in 2017 was about $2,800. So the bigger the refund that you're expecting, the more frustrating the wait that can be. By adjusting your withholding in your paychecks, you could reduce the amount of refund that you're expecting. I tell all of my clients to adjust their withholdings to get that refund or the amount that they owe to close to zero as possible. This way, you've got more spendable cash flow during the year for saving and investing, and a lot less likely of a theft of your tax money being stolen next year.
That's interesting. I don't think a lot of people take that into account when they're thinking tax and even tax ID safety.
Yes, that's a great point you're bringing up. When it comes to the safety, if you're going to be doing any form of e-filing, you've got to make sure that you've got security software that has firewalls as well as antivirus protection, and never ever use public Wi-Fi to file your returns. Don't file them at the Starbucks. Always use public, or I should say, password protected connections, and treat those tax returns like you would any important documents. Don't leave them lying around like cash. Lock them up in the backroom office so that it's safe and secure.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. You don't want to be a victim of this. A lot of people look forward to that refund, especially here in town.
Absolutely.
And you do not want to compromise any of your information.
Very good point, because once that information's out, it's gone forever, and you are going to have a headache on your hands here.
I know, you don't want that. Thanks you so much,
Of
Brad,
course,
for coming
absolutely,
by.
Leslie.
And stay with us, you guys. We'll be back.
All right, outside, we got some changes by Tuesday.